Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're getting ready to watch this video. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ZTV 1990 with your boy. Uh, and I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's had a great holiday. I know I sure have. Hopefully everybody's stuffed with turkey and all the dressing and all that good stuff and has watched some good football. And which is one of the reasons why I'm making this video. In the honor of Thanksgiving and just the tradition of NFL is I think it's time that we bring the Washington Redskins logo back. The Indian logo, it's time to bring that back. And I'm just going to report on some stuff that's been catching fire. In the last couple of days, there have been Native Americans, and not even a couple of days. I should say in the last couple of months, there have been Native Americans who are wanting their logo back on the helmet of the Washington football team. Even the fans. There's many fans that want the Redskins to come back. They don't want to call their team the Commanders. That was a name nobody really asked for. And Dan Snyder is somebody who's not creative at all. He's just not, man. Him and Ron Rivera, they just that was a weak name. But the issue is, the problem is that the Native Americans are not getting no they argue that they're not getting no representation no more. That their history, who they are, is trying to be erased. And I'm gonna tell everybody right now, and I say this with all due respect, I just want to make one thing very clear before I continue. This is all the result of these wokeness. Wokeness is a new racist. These liberals are the actual racists in this country because they represent a political party, which I've explained in my past videos before. When I went in on Kamala Harris, and I talked about Donald Trump on this channel recently, before the election happened. I told everybody the Democrats are the actual racists. They supported slavery and segregation. It's them. See, when the liberals convinced Roger Goodell and they signed a petition to change the Redskin name, they did not consult with every Native American tribe. All these tribes that are in America land currently living, they did not speak with them. And Ron Rivera, even though he's a Native American himself, he don't speak for everybody. And I am somebody whose great grandmother was a full-blooded Native American Indian woman. She's from her family was from the Chickasaw, Choctaw tribes in Oklahoma. So I myself is mixed. My grandma, we called her Big Mama. Betty Owens, she was Irish and Indian and black. But I'm gonna so I'm speaking from somebody who has Native in him. But I'm gonna read to this article from Newsweek, and this was published on Thanksgiving Day. And it says, "Are the Washington Commanders bringing back Redskins logo?" Now remember, this is basically the logo. They're negotiating just to bring back the logo, which I agree with. To me, you could have changed the name, but kept the logo. I understand that the Redskins name itself has been around for generations, because that name has been around for 50 years. That was around when my parents' them time. That name was around even when my grandparents and great-grandparents was living. Because football has lasted for generations, for years. I think the football is almost over damn near 100 years old. As far as just the NFL and AFL goes, this is very old league. Okay, but let me just read to you this. And I show everybody that I myself does my own homework. I'm not just speaking out just word of mouth. I like to go to different certified articles. So just anything y'all know about me is anytime I talk about something, I look up credible sources. Okay, and this is a worldwide thing. This is national news. Now everybody knows this. Now, and I read as we continue. The Washington Commanders dropped the racist slur Redskins from its name and retired a controversial logo after protests against racial justice erupted across the country in the summer of 2020. Now, that was around the time George Floyd got killed. But I want to let everybody know that George Floyd's death had nothing to do with the football team at all. That was just these liberals and these leftists being reckless. The same ones that's tearing stuff up, right? They rioting, tearing down stores, mess up people's business, which ain't right. Keeping people employed, having people lose their job over some nonsense, over some stuff that the police did, which got nothing to do with the football team. I'm letting you know that now, because I believe if George Floyd was alive, he ain't never would want you to change the name of that team. This has nothing to do with George Floyd, but I digress. However, some people are now under the impression that the team is bringing back the old logo, which features the profile of a Native American man with long hair and two feathers. Now, I think the Native American that the team models itself from is a man named Two Guns. It starts with it. His last name starts with M. I'm gonna look it up as soon as we're done, or we get near the end of the video. The Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee last week approved the advancing legislation funding the revitalization of the decrepit RFK Stadium site. So I think this would be the Robert F. Kennedy RFK Stadium site. They supposed to be they want to I think that's the current name of the stadium, but supposedly they're gonna build a new one. From what I've been hearing. But let's continue. Montana Senator Steve Daniels has said he would block the legislation until the NFL and Commanders honor the old logo in some way. Yeah, so they want to get a brand new arena, but they don't want to build a brand new arena because there's fans that want that old logo back. So that's what that's all about. That's about money right now. See, when they change that logo, they're messing around with the money. Daines said he was now in favor of the bill because the Native American family credited with the designing the old logo was satisfied with team's efforts to honor Walter Blackie Wetzel, the family's parentage. The Washington Post reported. So yeah, Walter Blackie Wetzel. Yeah, honor Walter Blackie Wetzel. Like that's the name of the Native American I'm telling you about. Something like that. Yeah, that's the family. That's the native tribe it comes from. This logo comes from. But his nickname is Two Guns. Daines told Fox News after the vote that talks were underway about allowing the old logo to be used again. They said we've had good discussions with the NFL, with the Commanders. He said there's good faith negotiations going forward that's going to allow this logo to be used again. Perhaps revenue is going to a foundation that will help Native Americans in sport and so forth. We're making good progress, and based on the good faith negotiations, I made the decision to support this bill. Daines is a representative of the people that want this logo back. Daines added on X, formerly Twitter, that censorship of the old logo was a case of woke gone wrong, which I just told y'all. This wokeness is a problem. He wrote, I applaud the Commanders and the NFL for their commitment to never censor the logo again and for working with the Wetzel family to restore it to its place of prominence and honor to benefit Indian country, which I agree with. No, the Indians deserve to have representation too, as well as all other royal ethnicities. His commitments led some to believe the Commanders would return to its former name and use the old logo. The Washington Commanders are planning to change their name back to the Redskins, one X user with more than 400,000 followers wrote. Another person commented the Washington Commanders agreed to uncancel classic Redskins logo. And Washington Redskins are back. Yeah, as you can see, man, this logo right here on the right, this is far better. I don't like the one on the left. And I'm going to tell you why I don't want the one on the left for this simple reason. You see how it kind of resembles Washington University? Now, the Huskies been using that for years. Hundreds of years, like I told y'all, man. It's been a long time. Well over 100 years. It's not right to use a W. No other NFL team uses that W because out of respect for Washington University. Just like, for example, let me show y'all something. Now, y'all see Florida State, right? You see this spear right here? The Seminoles. Now, at one point in time, the Washington Redskins used that as their logo. Let me show y'all. This is the reason why Washington stopped using it after a while. You see this spear here? Notice it looks similar. They had that same spear. Florida State been using it for years. I be one of the reasons why that the Washington and the NFL don't use the spirit anymore is out of respect for this football team here, the Seminoles. They technically would be Redskin too because they're Indians, they're Native Americans. So the whole point of this whole theme of just going on before I continue, and this is, and I'm just saying this right because I don't think, yeah, you said people gonna say life is fair, but when you messing around with race, it's different. For the Redskins and the Cleveland Indians have to change their logos, their name completely. Because remember, the baseball team have to change the Indians. They say the Indians was offensive. For those teams to have to change the names out of their organizations, but the Florida State Seminoles here could still keep their name and use an Indian on their logo. Because a Seminole is an Indian. Let's be honest. It's a tribe, right? Don't you see similarities? For them to do that, right? For them to do that, but then we can't have this logo here. It's not right. Now that's just completely effed up and it's technically unconstitutional. For the Redskin here, this logo got to be removed, but the Seminoles can keep this here, man. That's not right. You can't be picking and choosing who gets to stay and who don't. That's not right. This logo here on the left, I'm sorry, man, it's ugly. It's just it's boring as hell. There's no creativity in that. It's just plain. There's nothing. There's like, I'm sorry, man. Commander, nobody respects that. Now, if you would think of commander, you talk about somebody in the army. If you look at the commander's uniforms, there's no army fatigue. Look, where's the army fatigue in the uniforms? It's just like it don't even look like. I'm sorry, man. There's nothing. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not feeling it. They look too much like Washington. You're not. It's like you're not the football. You're not the. This is not NCAA. You see the similarities. Look at the uniforms. They're wearing similar uniforms as it is. No, hell no, man. You can't do that. I'm sorry, man. And I expect for the Huskies, they gotta go back to the old logo, old name. At least change the name back to a native name, because this right here is weak. It's weak, man. You're not the college football team. The only thing that's different is the stripes on the helmet. But other than that, it's basically the same type of uniforms, wearing a W, and it's just like, to me, it's uncreative. It shows that you don't put no effort into renaming your uniform. It's just like I said, like Dan Snyder. I'm sorry, man. He deserved to be fired. Now he lost his team off of some other reasons, but he can't be in charge of the football team. You're not creative. There's nothing about the Commanders that stand out at all. I don't like it. I really don't. I like the old logo better. Now that I think about it, there was nothing wrong with the Redskin as a whole. It's not, man. This right here, I'd rather this. This stands out a lot better. It's more respectable. It's more fitting for a football team. Just like the Cleveland Indians, right? Why you gonna name your name Gladiators? Gladiators is not fitting for a baseball team. I like the Indians a lot better. Right? They say it's changing the team's name back or the old logo on the current team's uniform isn't being discussed. However, representatives for the team and the NFL have assured the Wetzel family that it will not edit out the old logo from throwback merchandise. They visited the family in Montana in September and hosted them in Maryland to unveil a memorial honoring Wetzel. The newspaper reported that there have been discussions about creating a foundation to support Native American causes. Commanders owner Josh Harris has said that the team will not return to its old name, which I can understand. We've been very clear, for obvious reasons, the old name can't come back, he said in August. The first objective is we got to start winning football games. And we need everyone supporting the team, and not that things might, drive people apart. But yeah, you're going to drive more people apart if you don't bring that logo back. So this is all I'm saying, man. All I'm saying is keep this logo here. There's nothing wrong with it, but rename him a different Indian name. That's all I'm saying. You ain't gotta just look at these names, right? Look at some of these names. So we know they can't be called the Indians no more. But look at that. Black Hawks. I would have named them Blue Hawk. I would have named them Red Hawks, to be honest. But you got Red Hawks, you got Golden Eagles. I'm just trying to let's look at some of these names, right? So Redskins, you know, they never go back to that. They're not gonna use Redmen at all. Because again, they'll find it racist. But Braves. Washington Braves looks nice. The Warriors wouldn't be bad. Look at Chieftains. They're not going. That's too much of the Chiefs. Wolves, Red Wolves. Red Wolves was a name I could see them going as. Red Wolves. That was actually the name everybody thought about doing. Was Red Wolves. Red Storm is not bad at all. Red Hawks. Why don't you call them the Red Hawks? Matter of fact, Red Hawks. What I had? The Red Hawks seems a lot better. Why not Red Hawks? Like this. You see, if you're going to change something, at least, see, I would have went to the Red Hawks. I don't know why Dan started didn't think of that. Why didn't Ron Rivera, and that's another reason why Ron Rivera deserved to get fired. I'm gonna be honest. That man did a horrible with this football team, but he chose a weak name. He deserved to have lost. He deserved not to come back to that to be a coach no more. That's just me personally. But yeah, look at the Redskins. Okay, if you're not gonna call them Redskins, at least call them Red Hawks. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I would love to have this. This logo was not bad. Now, yeah, it could be an argument that it coincides with the Falcons. But even then, a falcon is a falcon. A hawk and a falcon, even though it's technically the same name, right? But then again, it's the Seahawks. So yeah, I mean, I can understand that, Seahawks. But even then, man, you got other names, right? The hockey team call themselves Blackhawks. That's a native name. Blackhawks. Why they not going after the Blackhawks? Y'all see what I'm saying? So you make the Cleveland team, right? For example, look at the Indians, right? The Cleveland Indians got to change their name. Redskins got to change it. At least if you're going to do that, keep the same design. Keep the same stripe, but change the logo. That's all you got to do. Now, you got the Seahawks, right? But Redhawks is not bad. Look at this, man. Look how clean this helmet is. Now, I can see, again, if they're going to go back to this logo, go have this face mask. Okay? I don't mind it either because I'm an SC fan. I'm a Trojan fan, right? But I'm pretty sure the Trojans wouldn't mind. Go back to this. Now, you can change, instead of calling them Redskins, call them Redhawks. The Washington Redhawks. Okay? And you can have that same bird, which I just showed you on there. Go back to Redhawks, call them Red Warriors, right? Because a Redskin, let me show you, I'm going to show you the definition of a Redskin, because there's nothing, the definition of an actual Redskin is a Native American going to war for their tribe, for the protection of their tribe. There's nothing wrong with this at all. I'll be happy for them to use this, go back to this logo, but call them a different name. Yep, the Washington Red Storm, a Red Wolf, Washington Pride. Well, not even Pride. Yeah, Red Wolf, Red Storm. Y'all call them the Braves, the Washington Braves. Now, Warriors, that's too much of the goal. That's the basketball team. But there's nothing wrong there. If you gonna call them that, call them the Red Hawks. Or the Red Wolves, right? Something like that. You can still use the same Indian logo. But call it that. Call it the Red Wolf. Something like that, man. Red Storm. Yeah, why not the Red Storm? There you go, Red Storm. I'll call them the Red Storms. Because again, man, they changing this. Is like, come on, man. Like, it's going too far. Red Hawks? Like, yeah, come on, man. Red Storm, I'll do that. We call them the Red Storm. That's what I'll do. Let me show y'all something. Snyder also states that the name was chosen in 1933 to honor Native Americans in general, and the coach and 4 players at the time who were Native American. So there are players on that team and coach that was Native American. And that in 1971, George Allen consulted with Red Cloud Indian found on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation and designed the logo. Okay. See, look at that. The Native American Guardians Associate that created a online petition advocating to return the name and logo in a way to honor the bravery, resilience, and the warrior spirit associated with the Native American culture. So let's look at how they chose their name. Redskins to avoid confusion. So I'm trying to look for that where they are. So the story of how the team chose the name Redskins is complicated. One for evidence of somewhat sketchy. No, that's not saying nothing. Let's see. Model. Its logo. Yep, Black Chief. Yeah, Blackfeet Chief. Two Guns, White Calf. By Walter Blackie Wetzel. So yeah, so Two Guns, White Calf. That's the name of the Indian. Black Chief, Two Guns, White Calf. That's the name for this guy, for this person here. So yeah, man. And this helmet honors the throwback anyway. But if you're gonna go back to this. I would love to see this in the NFL. Me personally, man. Go back to that. Go back to having this logo here. This silver face mask, this gray face mask with this color here, with this logo. Go back to that. And I'm pretty sure everybody would love that. And you, like I said, you don't have to have the stripes on there either. Just have this. And you're going to redesign the whole uniform. Because to me, man, the uniforms they currently got, I'm not feeling. I'm not feeling that at all, man. That is ugly. It's plain. There's no creativity in that. It's just like it's like Dan Snyder allowed his grandson to name the team, or his 10, 11-year-old son or daughter to name it, to give it that commander name this week. No, man, bring that back. Honor Two Guns, White Calf. Put that man back on there. Put it back on there, please. That's it, y'all. That's the video, man. But again, I want this back. This needs to return. This needs to return. You could call it a different name. You got to call it Redskins. Like I said, you can call it the Red Storm, Red Wolves. Red Wolves seems fitting anyway. Let's call it the Red Wolves and bring this back. But that's it, y'all. That's the video, man. Happy Thanksgiving. 'Tis the season right now. We are in the holiday season. Christmas is coming up next. I hope everybody has a safe holiday.